So with my last video, my voice didn't quite sync up perfectly with the video. We'll see how this one actually works. I hope it comes across a little bit better because, it looked like I was in a Chinese kung fu movie, and they were reading it in English. But anyways, thank you for joining me. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are old, well, welcome back. My name is Dave Phillips. I am the owner of MDW K9. We are a dog training company located out here in Tampa, Florida. You can find us online at www.mdwk9.com, or you could find us on Facebook. All you got to do is type in at MDW K9 Tampa, and that will link you directly to our Facebook page. Today we're going to do a Q&A any day, and today's question comes from Maddie. Maddie asks us, "Hey there, so my boyfriend and I adopted a dog a few months ago. He is a 6-month-old boxer/pit mix, and for the most part he is pretty well behaved. We really want to start socializing him, but he acts insane around other dogs. His tail is wagging and I don't see any signs of aggression. But he is constantly up in the other dog's face, and he seems to be trying to play too roughly. When we pull him away from the other dog, he barks as loudly as he can, cries, and in general has a meltdown. We were thinking about buying a muzzle for him to see if this will help, but I wanted to get some opinions and tips on how we should proceed. Also, most of the time Denver is cuddly and sweet, but sometimes, randomly, he will come up and bark at you, and then snip, clack his teeth at you. What would be the best way to correct this behavior? If we just say, 'Denver, no,' he usually starts barking back. And if you get up, he runs to the other room. The only thing we found that will make him stop is catching him and rolling him onto his back." When I first read this question, I kind of laughed and I chuckled in my head when I heard when he's snapping and barking, when they stand up, he runs away. I had a dog like this, a foster dog, and I've actually had a few interactions with dogs just like this. And I automatically thought that this dog is scared of being punished. When I heard when they stand up, he runs away. That's usually what happens when you punish a dog. And then I continued to read, and I saw that they do the alpha roll on their dog. And it confirmed my thought. That's why he is running away. So every time they stand up, this dog's like, "Oh no, they're going to push me over aggressively. I gotta go. And he hauls ass. And a lot of the times owners kind of misconstrue this hauling butt as even more of a destructive behavior. So they get more agitated and they get more frustrated with their dog when it runs away. So I just thought it was funny. First of all, if your dog's doing this, stop alpha rolling him. You're making him more anxious, more nervous, and more scared, and he's trying to get away from you from the punishment. He's not learning anything besides, I nip real quick, and I bolt, and I run. The behavior's just going to get worse, and him running away is just going to get crazier and more frantic. Now, to stop that nipping, it's simple. Put him on a leash, and when he's not nipping you and he's being a good boy, pet him. It sounds like your dog is kind of a little frustrated and anxious and needs more exercise and needs more training, needs more one-on-one attention or two-on-one attention. It needs more attention from its human companions, which is you guys. It sounds like it needs a lot more attention and a lot more activity. And basic obedience is wonders. Use motivational training, because if it's a pit bull lab mix, they're highly driven dogs. They have a lot of energy. Oh, hey, bud. You're home.
Sorry.
That's okay. The stuff is fixed. Can I finish this real quick? And we'll talk and stuff when I'm done. But it's a lab and pit bull mix, so it's highly energetic. Oh, it's kind of funny. I'm reading this, right? So when I'm reading the story, it's about this pit bull. There's a bunch of it going on, but when I started reading it, it's like when we stand up, because it's biting and nipping and barking at us, it runs away. So I automatically started laughing, thinking of Davey, and how he was alpha rolled and everything else. I stood up and he ran, and sure as shit, I read a little further, and the dog is alpha rolled. I'm like, so it kind of made me laugh. I'm like, I was right. It's running away from the punishment. But the dog is a lab pit bull mix. It has a lot of access energy that you need to go out there and you need to spend time training it. If you use more, like I said, a motivational technique, motivational training, it will exert a lot of energy in a small amount of time. Work on the sits, work on the heels, work on the downs, work on the stays, work on everything. Not only that, but you should be walking your dog, and I'm pretty sure since it's a dog that has all these drives, it loves to play whatever toy that it loves to play with, whether it's a ball, a frisbee, etc., etc., etc. Play with your dog. Spend a good hour a day playing with your dog, an hour a day walking your dog in 30-minute intervals, and spend time training your dog. Actually spend time with your dog, and it shouldn't have an issue. Now, to your question about socialization. For one, your dog is kind of out of the socialization phases in puppyhood, but socialization doesn't mean your dog has to play with other dogs. I highly suggest you don't play with other dogs when you have a dog or a puppy. Once you start playing with other dogs, with your dog or your puppy, and especially if it's on leash, your dog is going to automatically go and start saying hi to these dogs. And you no longer are going to be the most interesting thing, but these other dogs are. So the fact that you want it to play with these other dogs doesn't make much sense to me. You should be playing with your dog. If you keep addressing this issue and the dog's barking, and even though you sit there and say it's not acting aggressive, but you're pulling back as it's barking and lunging at these dogs, when you're pulling back, you're activating this thing called the opposition reflex. You're agitating the dog. You're making the dog want whatever it's barking at even more. So it's going to keep barking with more intensity the more you pull back, and every time. You could consider that even a training session, and you're teaching your dog to bark more and become more engaged and more focused on other dogs, and that's the last thing you truly want. If you're walking through a PetSmart, or if you're just walking through the neighborhood, the last thing you want is your dog to actively seek out and want to go greet other dogs. You want your dog behaved and walking with you. You want your dog to pay attention to you, not the other dogs. So the best thing you can do is focus on your dog one-on-one time, train them, play with them, enjoy the time with your dog, and stop worrying about having your dog make friends. Stop alpha rolling your dog, stop punishing your dog when it's nipping at you, teach it appropriately, and if you want to know how, please ask some more questions. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.